All right. Good morning, everyone, and our guest. I just want to say welcome to the Empire New Nurses Show. I'm Dr. Miriam Smith, DNP. I'm also an author, Amazon bestseller author. I also have a podcast, and I'm excited because I have a passion for just imparting my knowledge that I've gleaned over many, many years. And so I have one of my guests here, and she will talk a little about herself, of course. So this morning, those of you online and those of you who are in the audience, I just want to welcome you. I'm delighted to have you, and I know many of you have been following. And today, without any further ado, I just want to welcome my guest. She's a young practitioner, nurse practitioner, family nurse practitioner, and I'm so excited. You know why? Because I'm one of the baby boomers, and I've passed on a lot of knowledge and shared along with my young nurses. And here is one of those nurses that I met some time ago who has advanced in her career, and I'm so excited. So today, my guest, I would just like you to give your name and also to say a little about yourself. You're looking so beautiful. I like the colors.
Thank you. You're looking beautiful as well. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Latisha, and I am a nurse practitioner. I've been a nurse for about 10 years, and I got my nurse practitioner degree in 2019. So about 3 years now. And I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Miriam, for having me here today. And I'm looking forward to this interview.
Great, great, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And at this time, I know you have had your young nurse at 10 years. I'm going to say 4 decades and more. um, I've had times when I was a young nurse, and there are certain fears that I encountered and all of that. But I would like you at this time to tell the audience a little about you when you just started. What was it like for you? Some of the fears that you encountered. What was it like for you?
Yes, so as a young nurse that, I could never forget, having like a fear of not knowing what my shift would be like. So, I would work 3 days a week and, on my day off, I have in the back of my mind, oh my God, I have work tomorrow. I don't know what to expect. Granted, you know, I knew what to expect, but I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if my shift was going to go well. I didn't know if it was going to be a smooth shift. I didn't know if I was going to have a patient who, was difficult or who was going to crash on me. So it was just, that little fear of not knowing what to expect at work and having, that favorite coworker with you to help you. But as time went by and as I grew as a nurse, even now I still work in labor and delivery. So I no longer have those fears. And with time and with practice and with experience, you build your confidence. Over time, you build that, confidence that I can do this. No matter what happens, I'm going to get through this shift and I'm not there alone. And I'm going to do the best that I can. And, I just learned that I cannot stress over what I don't know will happen. And I would just go with that mindset. And that helps me a lot. So
Thank you so much for sharing that, because that's a commonality that all new nurses face. All
yes.
new nurses face these type of fears at times. However, as I like what you just said, Latasha, that there are people who are there with you. You're not alone. And there are colleagues who you crave to be with at times, because once they're on your team, once they're there, things gonna go right. Even if
Gonna go well.
it's even rough. If
Yes,
it's even rough and the unexpected come because of the team you're working with, it does
exactly.
make a difference.
It
Yeah,
makes a big difference. Yes.
yeah. So that's great. That's great. I know you were there in COVID time, and as a nurse, what were some of your experiences during the COVID time? Just tell us, a few of them. What was it like for you during the COVID time?
During COVID time, it was a scary time because, again, it was something that we didn't know what to expect with. It was a new virus that came. You just heard people are dying, and we were on the front lines, and we had no idea what to expect. I personally feared for my young daughter. At the time, she was about 2, bringing home this virus to her or my other family members. So it was a scary time, but looking back now, I'm grateful for the experience because again, it built me as a nurse. It built my confidence, working with my coworkers and, we just looked out for each other. We made sure to, always encourage each other and, not to give up because sometimes it was hard, like just discouraging and, having to keep on the mask all day. It was just a lot that contributed to everything. But looking back now, it definitely made me stronger, but it was surely a scary time, not just for me, but for everyone.
All of us.
Yes,
All of
yes,
us. We had
yes.
experiences whereby we had to learn to do the nasopharyngeal swabbing.
Shopping, yes.
And so it was unpleasant at times because, there were concerns who should be doing it and all of that stuff. But it
Right.
all worked out. And I can recall times when I had gone on as an educator on the L&D, labor and delivery floor. And,
Mhm.
after young nurses and other nurses, have gotten the experience and the practice. It was like,
Mhm.
oh, Miriam, I just did that. I just did how many,
Yeah.
swabs and things are
Right.
going well. So initially it was frustrating for many. Initially it was, and we
Mhm.
still have to be cautious, use our
Of
precautionary
course.
measures. We still don't let down our guards. However, I want to say thanks and applaud you all who are still there in the different capacities and helping the newborn, the little newborns coming into the world, and the mothers and the family members. That's a great
Yes.
I must tell you that I just had twins grandbabies too.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So
Congratulations.
yeah, so I was seeing and I just came and I was able to cut the
Oh,
cord. I was one of those. So
yay.
I'm so passionate and emotional,
Yes, that's
compassionate.
exciting.
And
Mm-hmm.
I know you have that on a daily basis. Yeah, you have been doing great. And just to see you excel is very encouraging to me and to see other nurses, because you could have said, I'm just going to be a bedside nurse for X time. But you really weathered it and you decided that you're going to do it for your practitioner as a young person. And that's advanced practice, right?
Yeah.
And so you obtained your license during the COVID time, didn't you?
Yes. Yes.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal
Yeah.
during those
In
times.
2019, I graduated December, and then COVID hit 2020. I took my exam in the midst of COVID. It was about June 2020. So, it was pushed back because of COVID. So the dates were kept getting pushed back. And, I wanted to get it over with, but, with everything going on, that wasn't even the priority. So, finally I took it in the middle of that year. And then I passed and
Congratulations.
I I
I mean,
still stayed at the hospital to keep my skills and, I did find a position part-time with internal medicine, which I did for about a year and a half. And that also built my skills as an NP. I loved it there. I worked with amazing doctors and other NPs, in which I learned so much. But at the end of the day, my specialty is women's health. I love women's health. So that's where I'm going to specialize in now as an NP. And like you said about advanced practice, bedside nursing is great because you learn that hands-on skill, you learn critical thinking, but it doesn't stop there. There is so much more you can do. And, just as a new nurse or a nurse in general, don't feel like you have to just stop there. There is more. There are many different avenues. I also just launched my business with my sister who's a nurse, IV Hydrate Cafe. We specialize in IV hydration. So it's all about wellness, taking care of yourself, self-care. We all, yes, we're caregivers. We're always pouring out, but you cannot pour from an empty cup. And we take that very seriously. So, we love taking care of ourselves on our days off. When we had a long shift, a crazy shift, we have to take care of ourselves and we take priority in that. So there's just so much to do. And Miriam, I'm also so proud of you. You're very inspiring. The amount of accomplishments that you have completed throughout the past years is so inspiring to me. And it keeps me going and keeps me pushing to say, I could do the same as well. And it's just amazing to see. And I'm so glad that I've met you. And yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
Listen, I I started having goose pimples here. Yeah. Yeah, because when I see you there, I'm so excited. And I'm happy to that I had met you also and was able to share some of my knowledge with you,
Yeah.
and your sister and many more. And
Mhm.
so I'm really excited. As I said, I'm a baby boomer and I've passed on the baton to so many other young nurses and just excited to see the progress that you have been making. Because you could have
Yeah.
said, I'm going to stop here. And I know your progress will inspire others to advance in their career. And as I said, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be just a bedside nurse. However, there are myriads of areas that you can go into nursing and
Mhm.
and share and help others and motivate others. So that's really, really exciting. Now, just to think of some of the things that you would share with some of the young nurses who are coming in. I went to a podcast because I'm also a podcaster. I was
Mhm.
in I was in Dallas, Texas, not long ago, and I actually met individuals at the podcast. It was just so exciting to see different age groups, including myself. They're learning,
Mhm.
how we can share our knowledge and our expertise with others. And I met
Right.
some people, young people, who said, listen, my sister was a nurse and she quit it. She came out of it because they were so many mean nurses and she didn't like it. What would you tell people like those? You met people like those who are very mean nurses too? Have you
Yes. Before I even completed nursing school, you always hear that term, nurses who eat their young.
Yes,
So that also was another minor fear of mine when I started. And I had my share. It wasn't many encounters, but here and there working with nurses who are more seasoned than me, who weren't the nicest. And being very new, it was discouraging. Sometimes I left work feeling sad or just feeling, you know, discouraged. But not for long. And that encouraged me and motivated me to, keep going. And you're always going to find, at least, even if it's one nurse who you can cling to, who has your best interest. No matter what shift, you're going to have that one nurse. So that's what you hold on to and you'll be fine. You can't let that discourage you. You just keep going, do what you have to do, and don't feed into it or let it get you down. You got to keep going. And, like we were saying before, it doesn't stop here. Just keep learning. I always was, and still like to go to conferences to
great,
keep
great.
updated on, new knowledge, because nursing
Current
is always
events and the current happenings. Yes.
exactly nursing is always changing. So it's great to go to conferences on your days off. My coworkers and I would go on our day off, and it was great because you're always learning something new. And advancing education, especially if your hospital or your organization is willing to help pay for it. That's a great thing as well. Take advantage of that as well. And there's just so much to do. There is so much to do. And
Thank you so much for sharing that because as a young nurse, I can remember many of us, we would go to conferences. It was fun,
mhm.
it was fun
Yeah,
learning, and it was fun sharing, and it was fun traveling together, eating
exactly.
together,
Your
picking up on
lunch,
things
everything.
lunchtime. And one of the jokes many of us used to have, I can recall, is that when the conferences, they have some pens or they have some little goodies and we would pick up some of the goodies. And when we return, apart from giving our report back, we would,
Right.
it was just fun.
Yeah,
It was
it's a great feeling. And like with COVID, it kind of slowed it down a little bit with the conferences because we weren't able to like meet in person. But now they're doing, they started back, or they'll have it virtually, which is convenient as well. So, there's always a way, to
always a way. Thank you so much for sharing all of that good stuff, all of that good stuff, and just taking time out to share with us and other young nurses. We're just encouraging you to join some organizations that will help you advance and be in the student or in the governance sessions and state your points. Be an advocate for yourself. As Latisha said just now, self-care. Many times, many of us nurses have neglected ourselves, and not giving ourselves the treatment that we get, that we should have received. We give it to the patients, but we haven't given it to ourselves. Therefore, we should be encouraged. She has a self-care program or initiative here going. Contact her and see what it's all about. She might have some more information to give you on that. But I'll tell you, because of what Latisha had just said, I'm not sure if you can see that, but I wrote a book since I retired, just about 2 years now, and it's Nurse, the Guide to Empower New Nurses in the Delivery of High Quality Care to All Patients. And she will endorse that. I always encourage my nurses to make sure everybody gets the highest care. Everyone deserves that, right? And so in this book, some of the fears that she had just mentioned, they are here. And the suggestions of how to alleviate it or how to help you along the way. Many tidbits, many pearls and nuggets for nurses are right in here that can enhance your nursing career as you go from day to day. It has self-care in there. It has mindset. It has communication. And many of us suffered loss during the COVID times. It has grieving and loss, how you deal with. Not everybody gonna grieve at the same time and the same length of time. And the behaviors might also change. So we won't be judgmental, but if you need help, you need to get help, right? Extra help. So this book, it's on Amazon, and it has both the Kindle and the paperback. And as you'll see, I want you to get your copy. I want you to get your copy. I want all of you to get your copy, because you'll see, some of you know me, some don't, but I know we have young nurses and we have new nurses all the time. And their key points. Some of my nurses will tell you when ready to go through the defibrillator, how we'll go step by step, that we have it in readiness at all time for emergency. And there we'll go on and on and on. But their key, it's not very long, it's just 116 pages. But there's some little questions there for you, for us to recall and to be on top of, so that you can perform when it's right on time, when it's needed and in emergency. So I just want to say thank you so much, Latisha, for coming on. And I expect you to come again and talk about your care, your self-care service and initiative, and your sister, who is also a nurse. And I know, so we're encouraging nurses. Now, you can connect with me on Facebook. You can connect with me on YouTube. I do have a YouTube program that goes on with little episodes and a podcast. You just have to go and write Miriam Amanda Smith. You know why? There are many Miriam Smiths on YouTube. There are many Amanda Smiths on YouTube, but there is one Miriam Amanda Smith, and that's me. So you're going to go and you're going to check that off, and you can make a comment. Any of you can make a comment. Some of you know me, some don't, but others can pass on the information. But it's such a pleasure. It's such a pleasure. And you know what? There are some nurses who have started and they're scared. I do offer consultations, and my consultation will be of helping where I can to empower nurses to be stronger, because some of the tidbits, when you talk on a one-on-one and how you can help with communication, therapeutic, non-therapeutic, when to stand up, when not to, and how you can advocate for your patients as well as yourself. So it was just a pleasure having you on. And my website, you can go Empowering New Nurses website, and you can make your consultation offers, and I'll be available when I need to be. Okay? So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And tell
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Too. All right?
Yes, I will, for sure.
All the best in your new.
Thank you. Same to you.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Come again. All right?
Okay, I will. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.